Hi everybody and welcome to SHAYP Talks. Today Grant and I are here to give you some hints and tips about how to help you to chat with your friends and family about HD. Because sometimes growing up in an HD family, it can be difficult to explain the disease, it can be difficult to know what to say, or certainly that's been my experience. Have you found that, Grant?
Yeah, I think quite often when young people have a chat with me, they're not sure of what words to use and they don't want to overwhelm their pals if they just want to let them know what's going on in their house, and sometimes they ask me, well, where do I start?
So probably the most important thing for us to think about is it's up to you who you tell about HD. It doesn't have to be everybody. You can tell some people, you can tell lots of people, you can tell nobody. It's whatever you're comfortable with.
Absolutely.
But once you've decided who you're going to tell about HD in your family, we've got this really useful wee leaflet which just gives you the basics of HD.
Yeah.
It's really simple to understand, and that's a really important part, I find, because like you said, we don't know the words to use a lot of the time, or young people don't know the words to use. It's a confusing illness to try and explain, very complicated.
There's a lot to get your head around, isn't there?
Absolutely.
And sometimes if someone says, oh, what's going on with your mum? You can well, where do I start? Where do I go? So if you're able to pull that out your bag, out your pocket, your purse, you can just go straight away, and it gives you the words that you can start to use.
Definitely.
And when you start a conversation, you know what it's like, you can then build on that.
Definitely.
As long as you're keeping it simple and you're not overwhelming the other person, I think that's really handy to
You're
have.
keeping it simple and you're using language that they're going to understand, and you're able to focus on it and use the words that are there, so you're not having to worry about what you're saying and trying to explain HD in your family.
Another thing that's really important is you don't have to do it all in one chat. Sometimes you can come back to it and you can just, sometimes we use the word drip feeding, sometimes you just tell a wee bit, and then the next time maybe if they come round to your house you would say, oh, this is happening, or if you're going somewhere you could say, my mum's maybe taking longer today so I might be a wee bit late, and you're just explaining to the other person what's going on for you so that they have an understanding.
But that's the very basic information, isn't it?
Sure, yeah.
Sometimes people might want to know more.
Absolutely.
So,
like if you're talking to a teacher or something, they might want to know a wee bit more. And SHAYP have these two wonderful booklets, Living with Huntington's disease, and there's a guide for young people aged 8 to 12, and then we have another one aged 13 plus. And they basically go through a wee bit more information about what Huntington's disease is, here's some more information on the symptoms that are there, what it can be like living in a family with HD in it.
So as a young person, you can read this booklet and learn more about HD, but equally you can take it to your teacher or to your family.
Yeah, and you don't have to read it from cover to cover. You can dip in and out of it when you want, and you can, if you're talking about something that's happened today, you can focus on that one page.
Do you find that in HD families that sometimes children can be frightened or worried about talking to their parents about HD?
Sometimes mums and dads have a lot going on, and there's always something that needs to be done, and sometimes I think young people don't want to overwhelm their parent or add to that stress, and sometimes they keep it bottled up. And at SHAYP we would advise you not to do that. We always would think that it's better to approach your mum and dad, choose a nice time when they're going to be able to listen to you, and just be open and honest with them and say, this is how I'm feeling, or I don't really understand this, or why is dad always angry at me, and just start that chat with them, because they might be feeling that they don't want to burden you guys with more information, so they're waiting on you to give them that cue.
So both of you aren't communicating, but maybe are still worrying about the same things.
Or maybe both wanting to communicate, and just not.
I think as well, sometimes it's great if we can chat about things, but maybe we're not always able to find the right words, or we're too worried or scared to actually say those words. I've always found that it can be useful to write down what you want to say, or what's worrying you or concerning you, and then you can either then read that to your mum or dad, or you could hand them the note. Or if you don't want to write it down, you could send them a text message saying, I don't understand this about HD, or I'm worried about, what's happening with grandma. Those sorts of things, just so that you're still communicating, but in a way that you are comfortable with.
And it helps you be clear, doesn't it? It helps you practice it and get it right in your head, so that you know what you're asking your mum and dad.
Sometimes we can get very emotional when we're speaking about things, and emotions are, they're there and we have to work with them. There's no point in being worried about emotions and trying to hide them. But if you're really angry or really upset about something, that might not be the best time.
probably
actually.
not going to be the best time, because if you're feeling angry, you're just going to maybe say the wrong words or say something out of turn, and mums and dads are going to react the same, aren't they? It's just going to escalate it. So it would be really good just to take a step back and come back to the conversation when you're a wee bit calmer, a wee bit more level-headed, and then you can have a really productive chat rather than an argument.
So I think from what we're saying here is that from SHAYP's point of view, that communicating in HD families is absolutely fundamentally important.
Absolutely,
It really should be happening. So from SHAYP's point of view, we feel that communicating and talking to your parents and friends is really important in an HD family, or in any family for that matter.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if we could maybe look at some hints and tips about the best way for that.
So to recap, SHAYP's hints and tips about communicating would be, the first one would be, it's up to you guys what you want to share and who you would like to share that with. So sometimes you might want to tell your best pal, sometimes you might want to tell your group of friends.
On top of that, it's really important to keep information simple and basic. Don't try and use really complicated words. Don't try and explain it in medical terms. Use words that you're comfortable with, how you would explain what's happening in your family. And
try not to do it all in one go. One of my favourite phrases is you can't eat an elephant in one sitting, so you need to break it down into smaller chunks. And HD is a bit like that. Make sure you just drip feed a wee bit at a time, and you can build up someone's information and knowledge over the course of a couple of weeks or a couple of months.
Absolutely. And being open, honest and truthful about how you're feeling and what's going on is really important. If you're not open, honest and truthful, other people aren't going to know what's worrying you or what's concerning you.
And sometimes it can be really helpful just to jot down some ideas about what's worrying you or what you're thinking about, and then that helps you practice, or it can help you pass over that note to your mum and dad if you don't feel confident to say it out loud.
And lastly, keep calm. You can show your emotions. It's okay to have a wide range of emotions: happy, sad, angry, annoyed. But if you're trying to communicate with somebody and chat to somebody about HD, try and keep as calm as possible.
Well, we hope that you found this SHAYP Talk useful and maybe take home some of the hints and tips that we've spoken about, so you can start chats with your mums and dads or start talking about HD with your friends and family.
But over and above that, it would be really useful for us and for SHAYP if you could put some of your own hints and tips in the comments section down below. What's worked for you, what you've tried, or what you might need some help with, and then together as a group we can all look at those and try and answer.
Excellent. Make sure you comment and share, and we'll see you next time on SHAYP Talks.
Thank you. Bye.
I think that sounds great.